Still sitting in a truck seat that's older than your favorite pair of work boots? Your back has been filing complaints for years. If your seat is worn out, sagging, or just plain uncomfortable, it's time for an upgrade. Head on over to seatspecialist.com. Check out their selection of quality replacement seats built to keep you comfortable mile after mile. And don't forget to use promo code TR104U to save 10% on your order. Seatspecialist.com, because a better ride starts with a better seat.
Welcome back to another episode of That's Delivered. I'm your host, Ray, and today we have a special guest, my good friend, Clint. Clint has been in the trucking world for quite some time. He has a wealth of experience. And what makes his story interesting is that he started out as a mechanic before hitting the open road. Clint, welcome to the show. How you doing today?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Great. Great. Yourself?
Doing well, doing well.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So, Clint, let's start it out
Yeah,
from the beginning. You were a mechanic, or
I
you
did.
were going to school or something like that, right?
Yep.
Before you became a truck driver. Can you tell us a bit
Yep.
about your early days as a mechanic and
Yeah.
what initially drew you to that profession?
Yeah. Went through post-secondary in high school out at DCTC, Dakota County Tech. Did the automotive classes out there, scored really high, went to Hennepin Tech in Eden Prairie. Went there, and then I was working out of Goodyear and was doing jobs and all my commission was going to another mechanic, and so that sucked. But went to another shop, and I was working in that shop, and um, a lot of the jobs that he was picking up didn't entail a lot of money. I went out to a construction outfit, and then was delivering equipment and whatnot to job sites, which a lot of the equipment that I ended up delivering required a CDL, so I got my CDL. And then after I got my CDL, I was delivering the heavier stuff and whatnot, and my paychecks just grew. So then I ran with that and got into driving truck after that.
Well, what
And
happened?
then
Why did you want to be a mechanic?
I love wrenching on things.
Yeah? Okay.
Break stuff breaks, you fix it and either make it better or make it back to the way it was.
Get some
I've always,
satisfaction in fixing things.
yeah, absolutely.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I've been into wrenching on things ever since I was a little kid. I'd take my bike apart, my pedal bike, and try to make it a front wheel drive instead of a rear wheel drive. And
No way.
yeah, and my dad would come home from work and have to put it all back together because that's impossible.
I was picturing that in my head. I was like, wait a second. The chain.
Yeah, right.
Uh, that's
But yeah,
funny.
I would do all that stuff, and then it just grew from there.
Wow.
And then my dad was a mechanic for Northwest Airlines.
There it is.
Yep. So it's been in my blood
That's it right there, isn't it?
all from the get-go. Yep. And then I started watching my dad do things, working with my dad on things, and then I kind of took the reins and started doing the work and whatnot.
Tell me about your dad a
And
little
then
bit. He's a cool dude.
yeah, he was in the military and went in the Air Force and got his pilots and all that stuff in there, and then started with Republic, and then they went to Northwest, and then he went all the
Northwest.
way up to inspector, and after that, then they went on strike and then went under, and then he retired out of there.
Mm. Yeah,
But
that was
yeah,
quite the deal, wasn't it? That Northwest thing.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. There's a lot of gents and ladies that left out of there with not too much. But Delta was nice enough to let a number of them come back and recoup a lot of the stuff after serving X amount of years. So hopefully a good chunk of them took advantage of that.
Yeah, Delta to the rescue again.
Yeah.
Oh man, wow. That's quite a
But
story in itself there. Maybe we'll have to get him on the podcast one
oh
day.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe he would.
Yeah, for sure.
He's got a lot of stories too.
That's really fascinating, man. So how,
Yeah.
now making that jump from being a mechanic and becoming a truck driver isn't the most common career path. I guess some people they stick with it, the wrenching. What made
Hmm.
you decide to switch gears, so to speak, and get into trucking?
Um, big chunk of it was you're not in the same place every day. Like you're not in the shop every day, the same shop, or for instance, cubicle or whatever. Yeah, you might want to consider a truck as a cubicle or whatnot, but you get to see different scenery all day long, and you never know what you're gonna see. Possibilities or being capable of seeing new things all day and different scenery, going different places, different job sites, different delivery spots, whatnot. Something's different every day, so it kind of keeps it interesting, if you want to say.
Yeah, what's it like being in a shop?
Dirty. If it's raining outside or snowing outside, vehicles covered in snow or trucks covered in snow, bring it in to a warm shop. You can only scrape so much stuff off, and then you're underneath it. Um, with the snow or rain dripping off of it, dripping on you if you're underneath it. If they're gravel road or like to go in the mud or whatnot, then you're working on whatever full of dirt. So then you got air tools, and granted, a lot of stuff's switching over to battery nowadays, but air tools blowing air out, dust going everywhere. Diesels are a lot dirtier than gas vehicles. So if you're not wearing gloves, your hands are initially black most of the time. Grease and up and down your arms and whatnot. Otherwise, if you got walk-in customers and oil changes, then you got a 180, 200-degree vehicle coming in, want an oil change, having to reach around exhaust manifolds and pipes and undo filters and bolts, and so it keeps it interesting on that aspect too. But yeah, I'd have to say getting dripped on was the biggest downfall of wrenching on stuff.
Yeah, it sounds annoying.
But yeah, it's a lot more annoying than you would think it would be. But
Put the
I
stuff in your
initially didn't
eyes.
like it.
Yeah.
But yep, yep, yeah. The one that bugged me the most was when it was dripping down your back. Making it past your head and
Mm.
going right in between your shirt and your hair and going down your back.
You don't have to deal with that now.
Nope, nope. The only time I have to worry about getting rained on is unhooking trailers or airlines.
Putting chains on.
So now it's not too shabby. Yeah, putting chains on in the winter out in the mountains, depending
Yeah.
on how much snow you're dealing with. Otherwise, ice.
Yeah.
Last winter there was a lot of ice. There was a situation last year where it was basically like a Zamboni came out and laid a sheet of ice right across the highway. The tires went silent as soon as we got onto it, and there was uh, there was nothing you could do other than try to pull over and get stopped.
So why would you switch from being in the warm. And I know you got a couple drips coming on you, going down your back, but now you're out there skating on ice with a semi. I mean, man, that's
That keeps it interesting.
yeah. So either way you
Yeah,
go, there's gonna be something, huh?
there's something. Yep. Yep.
But you enjoy driving much better.
I do. I do. I love driving. I love
Right.
driving.
That's
I
why I got you.
I would drive on my days off even. I do a lot of driving on my days off, really, actually. Going up to Big Stone, go fishing, go camping, go out to our property in South Dakota. Got hours of driving on the weekends too, even after I'm done driving on the road.
Man, so I bet
A
the
lot of things.
first trip you had, do you remember your first trip? I don't know if you ever forget that out on the driving on the road when it comes to your own set of challenges and adventures. What are some of the most memorable stories you have about your time on the road? Maybe you remember the first time?
I would have to say the one that caught me the most that actually um forced my employer to send me in to get my CDL is I loaded up a skid steer on the gooseneck and a cage and went to the job site, dropped off the skid steer, and then went to another job site that the boss was at. And I had the cage on there, and just the truck and trailer alone required a CDL. And come pulling up, and he comes over, just starts reaming me a new one. And I'm like, "What's the big deal?" Not even thinking about it. And he's like, "You need a license to drive that." And I was like, "Well, I didn't really think about it. I just jumped in the truck and did it."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, it's time for you to go in and get a CDL. Sign up." I was like, "All right." So then the next 2 weeks, I was going in and getting my CDL and passed it and jumped into the dump truck. Graduated from the pickup truck and went to the dump truck.
Heck yeah. Wow.
But yeah, but yeah, I just remember him coming up, and he was red in the face. He was so mad. But
Ah,
yeah, it gives me a laugh.
yeah, you gotta keep people's blood flowing, you know.
Right,
Every
right.
night. You gotta give
Yeah,
them some surprises, right?
right. I was just making sure he was paying attention.
Oh, any other yeah. Any other challenges and adventures you think of during that first period?
Um, job sites. Job sites would be a big challenge. Dealing with mud, um, tight spaces, getting in and out with the trailer.
The dump truck?
Yep, yep. Dump truck and 36-foot beaver tail,
Wow.
pintle hook beaver tail.
All right.
So you got that mud, dealing with a lot of mud, because there's always new construction, and probably getting in and out of the job sites in the mud was the toughest part. I mean, you bring a dump truck into fresh job site, you know, doesn't look all that muddy, but you get 20,000 pounds in there, and they sink down real quick.
Mhm.
They sink down to where it's dry.
Most average people probably say, "Oh, well, you can you got the big tires, you can get out."
Right. But nope, they're a big hunk of weight, so they drop right to the ground.
Mm.
There was one time went in there and I didn't make it more than a couple feet, and dropped that thing right down to the axles and buried it. And the guy had to come over with the excavator and dig it out and lift it up with chains and put it back out on the road.
Wow.
So if you ever see standing water in a field and you're in a truck, avoid that spot.
That's the rookie
That,
one.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Otherwise, that was the only time that I ever had a situation like that happen. There was um there was a time when I was doing roll-offs and I had to go up in the cities to a demolition. They tore down a whole house, and there was one box left, and it was the farthest one in. And there there was tons of mud all over from the other trucks coming in and out. And it rained for like 3 days before that. So I got there and I'm looking and from previous experience of driving in, seeing standing water, you know, don't go in there. So I call dispatch and I tell them, there's standing water. And I mean, this dumpster is full of concrete and mud. I'm sure this thing is super heavy. You might want to let this dry out a day. And they literally told me, if you don't go in there and get it, come back and drop the truck off and we won't need you anymore. So I was like, okay, you want me to go in there? That's fine. So I got 2x8s out of the dumpster
yeah.
and around the dumpster. And that was kind of left behind on the job site. And I just kind of made a path and got my tires on that and stayed up above enough to get the dumpster on. And then as I got the dumpster on and I started moving forward, the board started breaking because the
Yeah.
truck was sinking, and I had to literally use the dumpster to push me out of the job site because the boards were breaking underneath me.
How you do that?
Just let the dumpster roll off, get in the mud, and then start tipping it down and use the weight of the dumpster as kind of like a pusher to push you through the mud. I figured it out real quick.
Trying to get free.
Just trying to get out. Yeah.
Wow.
So I used the truck to its ability to dig me out of that one and got out. But those boards, I bet you they were a foot and a half down in the mud,
Wow.
all busted up into little pieces coming out.
Yeah, that's a lot of intricate things that people don't really talk about, man. They're getting stuck in the mud.
Mm-mm.
It's just you kind of keep those treasures to yourself probably for next time. But that's really
Yeah.
valuable, man. That's huge because that could actually help out when you're stuck in a field full of ice and snow.
Yep. Yep.
Man,
I've used used that technique a few times shifting.
like a hostler, huh?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot
Yeah,
of
we'd
people
always
do those
call it
jobs.
slinging trailers,
Slinging them around, huh?
slinging them around.
Wow, so that's pretty incredible. I mean, those are some good stories. You got any other stories you want to share that you want to speak on, share with the listeners, to give them some of the wealth of your knowledge?
Otherwise, snow is a big one that people underestimate as well.
Okay. So you just put the
Um,
chains on, you'd be good to go, right?
in the mountains and initially, yeah, you're good to go. But when you're like up in the UP,
Is that Michigan?
Michigan, yeah,
Ah,
and
a
you
whole
don't
nother
have
place.
chains. Yeah, whole nother atmosphere up there because then you got Lake Superior, so you got the water effect coming at you. So you got um, a snap of the fingers going from sun, beautiful day to a blizzard in just a snap of the fingers. And I've had it where it's 20 minutes later, there's 2, 3 feet of snow on the ground, and you're
20
driving
minutes.
down 20 minutes, just straight up. You can only see 5 feet in front of you. So you're creeping along doing 5 no more than 10 miles an hour, using the reflectors and stuff along the road as your barrier to where the ditch is, and just creeping along down the road trying to get to your next spot.
What are you doing up there anyway?
I delivered grocery up there.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, so we'd go up there, and we're we're the people bringing these little towns and whatnot grocery. So us getting there in a timely manner is pretty critical, definitely for getting produce and whatnot to them. And you know you know they don't get their load for 2-3 days. They could be hurting quite a bit.
Wow. So you got
you
so
know
that route,
so
would you just get thrown that route to you, or you would pick that route to go up there, or how
we
does that work?
pick that route. Yep.
Was
all
that
all on all on seniority.
was that a good route?
you know
Considered a good
I
route?
liked it. I loved it.
Okay.
I
Really?
loved going up to the UP.
What'd you love about it?
Beautiful. It's beautiful. And all the tricks and whatnot that the environment threw at you. There's one time going down that same exact road, and going down that road, that same 2-lane road, and you're an hour and a half into this road, and get down to this one bridge, and a beaver actually chewed the leg off of the one bridge, and they closed the bridge. So I had to back 45 minutes down the road in reverse. And then there was an intersection that was big enough for me to jackknife my trailer onto the side road, and then forward, backwards, and get that all the way snugged up to the left side of the road. And then just big enough for me to make the turn out to go back out. And then I had to go 4 hours all the way around on a different road to get
Man,
to that town, all
you said
because of beaver.
a 45-minute
Um,
back.
yeah, back up down the road. Yep, straight back. Yep. And there was some little turns and whatnot along the way,
Nothing
but
serious.
yeah, you just
Yeah.
yeah, nothing crazy. But yeah, you just put her in second gear in reverse and just keep on going.
Whoa.
Yep.
All
So
right.
then just keep
In the
going
snow.
backwards. And nope, that
Okay.
was during the summer.
Okay.
That was during the summer. So,
Man.
but yeah, then Hungry Beaver got a hold of that bridge.
So you also told me too that you got the chance to do some trucking up in North Dakota.
Yep. I left a company. I left a company and went out to the oil fields with a dump truck and hauled wet batch concrete
Wet batch.
out there. Wet batch, yeah. Kind of like you would get right out of your tumbler in a cement truck, but they would dump it right in the back of a dump truck. And we were building bypass roads around all the little towns, which the town I was in was Watford City. So we were living out there, and or if you want to say based out there, and
Yeah.
hauling concrete and gravel out there, building bypass roads around Watford City and whatnot.
Man. What was that like? That sounds pretty
It
wild.
was it was nuts. It was literally one of the craziest things I've ever done.
Uh-huh.
Of the other jobs out there was it was just wild. The amount of semis and stuff out there was unreal. You're every day seeing vehicles go down the road.
Yeah, Wild
Yep.
Wild West, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It would, like everyone was hungry for money out there, and that's what you're out there to do,
What
is
do you
make
mean?
money.
They're not, they're getting a set amount, or they're just trying to get as much as they can, huh?
Oh, you could work as many hours as you wanted. There was one guy out there, he would work nonstop all week long, and then you wouldn't see him from 4:30 Friday night until 8 o'clock Monday morning.
Really?
Yep, he would just disappear. He'd be gone. Otherwise, his truck didn't stop. His truck didn't shut off from Monday morning until Friday night, unless it broke down.
Are you serious? He
Yep,
stayed awake the whole time.
yep. I have no idea how he was doing it, but he was doing it. And then he was just gone on the weekend.
How long? How many weeks do you repeat that?
I don't know how long he was out there. I ended up leaving, and when they started capping everything off, and he was long gone by then.
Okay.
As soon as it started slowing down, he was gone.
How long you think a body could do that? Like physically, you think a person could do that for like
You
3 months or man?
I would think if they're Superman, yeah, but I couldn't imagine that they could do it that long. But I want to say he was out there for a couple of years doing that.
No.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't talk to him very much because otherwise, the whole time he was in his truck, I seen him at the local bar grabbing food a couple times, and that's how I talked to him a couple times.
He was that
But
guy,
yeah, although
huh?
yep,
That
yeah, he
Max,
was
he
he was
just
gone.
did the
He was
most.
go go go. Yep. Yeah, he said he was averaging 100 grand a week.
I'm trying to picture this. This is nuts.
I know. I don't know how it's even possible. I mean, driving over the road, I get to 11 hours and I'm like ready to fall asleep right there, let alone try to stay awake for another 4.5 days.
Yeah, that sounds like one of the most craziest, unexpected things that's ever happened while you're driving. Anything else
Mm-hmm.
top that experience?
No, no. The oil fields, no way. No.
Wow.
It was unreal. Like
You,
unbelievable.
you,
Unreal.
you miss it?
A little bit, but I'm not sure if I'd go back. If they had another thing pop up and an opportunity to do something like that, I don't know if I could do it. It's just
Yeah.
unreal.
Well, we
But
get
I
older,
mean,
right? And
yeah,
body does little different things than when
yep.
you're younger.
When you're in your 20s and 30s, or 20s and early 30s.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
yeah, I mean, guys would literally go to the Peterbilt Kenworth dealer, buy a new semi, and when something broke on it, they would take the wheels off it, rims and wheels off of it. They'd take the drums off, put it underneath the axles, set the truck down on the axles, and go buy a new one.
Wait a minute. Man, you for real?
Yeah, yeah.
A new
I seen I seen new Peterbilts and Kenworths sleeper cabs sitting on the side of the road on drums all the time. And then they would take the rims and tires off of them and use them as backups or spares for the new tractor that they just went and bought.
They made their own cannibalizing of a new vehicle.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. It was just gnarly.
A lot of
I,
money
I mean,
flowing.
you could literally it was probably either a transmission went out or a blown motor. I bet either one. But if the truck wasn't destroyed too badly, I mean, you could go probably pick it up and fix it up and have yourself a decent truck yet. But it really depends on what it was used for.
What was the craziest town there that you've been through? North Dakota.
Um, from the talk of the people, it sounded like Minot was the craziest of the towns.
More than
That
Willis.
was, yep, because Minot was the first one that boomed, and then Williston followed, and then Watford City was the third, and then they started capping them off.
Wow.
Yeah, I heard Minot was the craziest. Yeah. Yeah, there was the time that I went to Williston because um the job foreman was getting upset that we would go to the bar, and they had this big sandwich. There was $12.95 for this big sandwich. Eat half of it there, and then have the other half of it for breakfast in the morning. And basically, $12.95 fed you the whole day. Otherwise, he wanted us to go to Williston, go grocery shopping, and cook our own food. And so me and another guy went and did that, and we drove to Williston, went to Walmart, got a cart half full of groceries and whatnot, and the line was wrapped all the way around the inside of the building.
Wow.
So from the time that we parked, got our groceries, got in line, got through the line, it was 3.5 hours
Walmart.
at Walmart in Williston.
That's Willis.
And if you didn't get it that day that it was put out there, it was gone.
Wow.
Absolutely. But yeah, and then Buffalo Wild Wings was right across the street, so we went through our groceries in the truck and whatnot, went across the street to get something to eat, sat down, had a few drinks, had a couple drinks, ordered our food, got the bill paid and left, and that was another 3 hours just to do that. So it was 7 hours basically to do those two stops, and a ton of waste of time that I thought.
Yeah.
When you could just go right in town and get this one sandwich for $12.95 and be good.
That's why his deal was that was the deal to
Yep.
get because you save time.
Right.
Keep going. Wow. Then
Right.
you gotta live to learn that though, you know.
Yep. Yep.
So meeting people
Absolutely.
from all walks of life is one of the perks of the job for sure.
Absolutely.
Now, every driver has their favorite routes and places they love to stop. Do you have a favorite route or a must-visit truck stop that you always look forward to?
One of my most favorite truck stops to go to is definitely I-80.
No way.
The stuff you can see there, and just the experience of being there, seeing all the trucks that are there in the parking lot, and um, is something that would definitely brings like a trucker a little bit of joy.
Nice.
You know, just the variety of trucks down there. And there's guys that have a lot of money stuck in their trucks down there, and
What about any
really
other
beautiful looking trucks.
any
But
other spots that you like? Maybe off Interstate 40?
um, 40 was probably the roughest highway I've ever driven in my life. You you definitely get a beating going down that road. That actually reminded me a lot of working out in the oil fields.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
Yep. Just the washboards going through the dirt roads and stuff in the back areas of the oil fields. And granted, you're doing a lot slower speeds, but down there, the potholes and the dips and the ditched highway, it's definitely something that grabs your attention. That's for sure. Anyone with low profile wheels are more than likely busting a rim and getting a flat tire going down that highway.
So now
That's for
to
sure.
shift gears a little bit, as a person who's been a mechanic and a driver, you must have a unique perspective on truck maintenance and handling breakdowns. How do you think your background as a mechanic has influenced your approach to being a driver?
Having that background, as soon as a breakdown happens, my first instinct is to figure out, what's wrong. A lot of the times I can identify what has broken or broke down or went bad, um, just by sitting in the vehicle listening to it as it broke down. I can usually call it and get out and take a peek. And the first thing I want to do is, try to find a way to fix it. And I've actually almost gotten fired from a job because they didn't like you touching the truck or whatever, and because you're just a driver. And a lot of companies are like that, and they lease the vehicles, and they don't like you touching it. And that's like the first thing I got to do is get out there and figure out what's going on. So I've gotten in trouble along with wanting to try to figure out what's wrong with it at the same time. So it's kind of hard to step back on that.
Crazy. Yeah,
And
you wouldn't think
just
about
wait for the
that way,
guy.
but you're right. You gotta
Yeah.
be patient
Yep.
nowadays because
Yep.
they got a guy they got a contract with,
Yep.
come out and fix it. But yet,
They got to come out and they touch it and whatnot, and
then they get there,
they
you gotta
fix it.
help them do the job, probably, huh?
I've actually had that happen 3 times. That I've told them exactly what was wrong with it because I carry tools with me. In one of my backpacks, I got a test light, I got pliers, and I got a couple common wrenches with me, and a flathead and a Phillips screwdriver. And 2 times that happened was with trailer wiring, and I told them what was going on, and they're like, "Oh, it's got to be a fuse." And I'm like, "I tested all the fuses." "Oh, you're just a driver. We'll let a professional look at that." I was like, "Yeah, go ahead and knock yourself out." So waited 12 hours for a guy to show up, and he did the same test that I did. "We need to take this into the shop and hook it up to a computer because from everything that I tested, the computer's bad." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know. That's what I was telling you." And so brought it into the shop. Sure enough, the computer was bad. So then they deliver out another truck, and lo and behold, the same exact problem was wrong with that truck as it was with the truck that we just gave up.
Can't make this stuff
Oh,
up.
it can't make it up. No, no.
Man.
And there was a sheet on the seat that it passed inspection, and I was like, well, it's kind of interesting how that inspection went, but
Oh, God.
knock yourself out.
I tell you,
But yeah, so
it's
then it
clear that
was another. What's that?
it's clear that having mechanical knowledge can be a big asset, but a lot of times it can be probably a big pain.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because there
Wow.
was there was a time that I had a turbo clamp blow. I knew it right away. As soon as I heard the air piston, I knew it right away. It was a turbo clamp, and pulled over, looked. Yep, it busted. So I used my pliers and I pinched it around the um, rod or whatnot of the clamp, and I tightened it up just enough to where the part that I crimped around the little rod or whatnot of the clamp,
Yeah.
started moving. So then I just took it slow and I went to Love's, and I was there, and I just wanted to go in and get this clamp and then put it on and be on my way. And my co-driver reminded me of how you can get in trouble for doing that. Just call it in and have a guy come do it and be done with it. So we did. We called it in, and the guy came out, and the guy didn't have the part, so he went in the Loves and he bought the part, and he came out and he put it on, and we were on our way 4 hours later, when I could have just did it and 15 minutes later been on our way.
That's got to be really frustrating.
Yep, but you know, like we were just saying, sometimes you just gotta relax and play the name of the game.
As long as they're paying you, right?
But yep, exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. So yeah, I'll play the name of the game, and I'll set back a little bit and do whatnot and go from there.
That's some
But
valuable insight as especially being a company driver versus having your own truck. Maybe
yep.
one day, you'll have your own truck and things will be different, and but that's some valuable insight for other truckers that are probably getting into the field. What about the advancements of technology in trucking? For your perspective, how have things changed over the years with the introduction of new techs and gadgets in trucks? What any benefits
Oh,
or any takeaways?
uh, um, I mean, the technology in trucks nowadays is named day and night different from when I first started. When I first started, everything was mechanical. Mechanical lift pumps, mechanical fuel pumps, mechanical everything, and air operated automatic windows and whatnot. So you didn't have any of the electronics really that you do now. The electronics that are in them now, you basically need or have to have a scan tool to work on them nowadays.
Really?
Yeah, you're talking, um, back when I was in the automotive field, the scan tool that I bought back then was $8,600. So I can't imagine what the scan tools are nowadays. I bet you $15,000-$20,000 with software and stuff that you need in them and whatnot. But yeah, the and all the sensors and all the um, electrical stuff involved and everything. Being able to turn things off, turn things on, manually test them with the scan tool. Um, all that stuff is a huge thing when it comes to all the electrics on the trucks and stuff nowadays. Um, Having to hook it up and see how the truck's running on a diagram, you know, especially all the exhaust stuff that they have on them now. Need to have the exhaust within a certain threshold for the EPA and whatnot. Um, all based on electronics and scan tools and diagnostic aspect. But motors are all electronically ran nowadays. Transmissions are all electronically ran. It's not very common that you see a manual transmission now anymore. Everything's all automatic.
Like a
Um,
huge computer.
huge game changer from when I first started.
So technology has certainly revolutionized the industry. So before we wrap it up,
Absolutely.
do you have any advice for mechanics thinking about jumping into driving or for new drivers that are starting out? What's the words of wisdom that you would like to share with them?
Um, in all reality, diesel mechanics is a good trade. There's a huge demand for diesel mechanics nowadays. It just doesn't seem like a lot of people want to do the trade school thing nowadays. They've always been taught and whatnot that you need to go to college and become this, you know, computer person or whatever. Otherwise, computer stuff, I mean, is huge. Obviously with everything turning computer nowadays, but vehicles needing to be computerized and whatnot, trucks needing to be computerized. You learn all that stuff in trade school. Diesel techs, everything's heavy. So you need equipment to usually work on a lot of the stuff. But they don't do a lot of the remove replace anymore. It's all take everything out as a whole and replace the whole thing. You don't do a head or lower end or anything on stuff. It seems like nowadays everything's like, no, we take that motor out and we put a new one in. But I mean, you're not going to be moving that around on your own. And there's a lot of money in trade schools. I think a lot of people should consider trade school before going to college.
I like it. I like that, man. That's good advice.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your journey, man. It's a lot of great stories, a lot of eye openers as to from mud to going up
snow.
there in Minot and trying to figure out what's going on up there.
Yep.
That may open back up. You never know. But
yeah, you never know.
Yeah, it's been a real pleasure getting that eye opener for a lot of listeners to see what's going on as a truck driver, because it's not just always the paved road. There's
Nope.
a lot of challenges when it comes
Yep.
to construction or what have you.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. Because
absolutely.
the open road, you're out there with Mother Nature too.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. You've had
And
some encounters with that too, haven't you?
absolutely. Absolutely. You never know what Mother Nature will dish at you. That's for sure.
Yeah,
But
a lot of deer out there. You got bear, deer.
oh yeah, deer, elk, antelope. See a lot of them all over.
I think
That's for
you ran
sure.
across some wild horses, haven't you?
Yeah. I was going by Theodore Roosevelt State Park, whatnot, and I seen the herd of buffalo and the wild horses.
Wow.
They're right along the fence. It was really awesome.
How many horses do you think it
Yeah.
was?
I bet you there was 10, 15 horses. It was really awesome, but there's the wild horses and the buffalo sitting there grazing away,
Wow.
just enjoying life. But yeah, there was 50, 60 buffalo and 10, 15 horses all sitting there right along the fence. It was awesome. First time ever experience for me.
You've gotten through a lot. I'm sure you're holding back with a lot of your stories. You got a lot more stories. I know you do. And
Yeah, too
maybe
many to
what
tell.
that's the life of a trucker, right?
That's right. That's right.
Man,
That's right,
nice.
brother.
Wow. So, just for our listeners, thanks for tuning in to That's Delivered. If you enjoy this episode, to give an eye opener what it's like to be a seasoned truck driver that's gotten the taste of being a company driver, also having their own truck. Clint Christopherson has the experience to share, and we're glad that we had him on the show. So, this episode, if that's delivered, I hope you enjoyed it. If you're sure to be sure to subscribe, to like, or leave a review, share it with your friends. We like all of those responses. Until next time, keep the rubber side down and the shiny
Shiny side
side
up.
up. There you go.
Amen. Amen, man.
So, yeah, thanks a lot,
Yeah.
Clint. Appreciate
Thank
you
you.
giving us a little
Thank
bit of
you.
time of your day there.
Yep. Absolutely. Anytime. We'll do it again.
All right, my man. Take care.
Have a great one, man. See ya.
Are you a trucker looking for a safe and reliable place to park? Look no further than Truck Parking Club. With locations across the country, we've got the perfect spot waiting for you, whether it's daily or long-term parking. And right now, use promo code DELIVERED at checkout for an exclusive discount. Reserve your spot today at truckparkingclub.com and drive stress-free, knowing your parking is covered.